a mix of the security apparatus of the land there. We have GSU, we also have National Police just taking part in that particular jog, or rather exercise, to prepare for what they are going to be doing during the first 4 or 5 hours of today there, being the venue where we are going to have President-elect Dr. William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua take oath of office, actually 2 oaths for the president there, and of allegiance of the presidency, and this is to the constitution, as well as oath of due execution of the incoming president. We expect them, and as far as the deputy president-elect is concerned, is expected at exactly 11:35. That is 5 minutes before we see the president-elect arriving to the venue. This is just some warm-up to just, maybe entertain as well as kick off the chill. We understand is that the stadium was open to the public. At his first attempt, that is Dr. William Ruto, the president-elect, and he's going to be sworn in a ceremony that is by law expected to take place between 10 and 2 p.m. and in a public place, and that is Kasarani. People gymming, trying to do away with the chill, as well as to keep fit ahead of the 4-hour. Maybe a majority of them are going to be entertaining us with their military stance, as well as the match that we're expecting to see. So just to ensure that they do not have any stiff muscles. Now, bringing back this conversation back to the studio, Dr. Rutich, I hear you are time. So as I also bring in my colleague there, we are waiting to see what the president is going to prioritize in the next 100 days. Is it feasible, actually? Is it feasible to have the prices of unga down in the next 3 months?
I think let me come back a bit about the prices of goods coming down. Look at the prices of fuel in this country. And we have had some, it has not been very easy that the fuel suppliers actually, the prices have been soaring up all this time. And what we have been actually looking, people have been asking themselves, why is it that these prices are not coming down? Now they are selling petrol at 159, and we are now expecting in maybe tomorrow, maybe the prices to go up. Yeah. And you realize that the problem that we have been facing is not necessarily to do with the suppliers. It is about the government failing to pay the subsidies to these suppliers, because the government have to subsidize the prices to enable the people actually have the prices reduced. So in this case, how prepared is now the government to meet up the subsidies that will lead to the lowering of the prices to the level that we will appreciate? Because as much as we, I'm being real, madam. I'm not foreseeing, something that is not, there are no backups. As it is now, as much as we are expecting most of these prices, because the center of our economy is actually based on the prices of fuel in this country. So in this case, if the prices goes up, the prices of other commodities, especially consumable commodities like foodstuffs, really goes up. So it is a very difficult thing that, but we are looking forward, because His Excellency, the President-elect, did say that he actually met with the stakeholders in agriculture, the stakeholders, I mean, those who are supplying the agricultural inputs like fertilizers, and we are actually looking forward that these prices actually may go down. But how much it will go down remains to be seen, Madam, because there are other things that must have a backup, because the fuel suppliers will not be willing to go to the field to sell their fuel if the government has not actually met the conditions that they're actually demanding. That is the bottom line.
Yes, and just we know that the fuel subsidy is not going to be in effect in the next, actually in this next cycle. And as you said, there's some things that need a backup. The issue of subsidy has been an issue that has been pitching government as well as OMA, oscillating between oil marketers and government, so to speak. So the new administration, when it comes to the cost of fuel, they have their work cut out for them. As well as 1st of October, from 1st of October, we're going to have KRA implement a 6.3% increase in excise duty on some duties. So we needed to temper our expectations and give this administration time to actually, do what they promised. So 100 days, well, we'll wait and see. Troy.
Yes, and let me go to the counties, because looking at Kasarani, and the delegations that we had coming from the counties, a lot of people are more than expectant. And based on what we had President Kenyatta yesterday talk about, that 2.5 trillion in the last 10 years, because now we are headed towards the second regime after the 2010 constitution. You talk about 2.5 trillion Kenya shillings has been devolved to the devolved units, and I know you're an expert when it comes to matters counties and how it has been able to change lives. Let's give it to him. Devolution has been seen to work so far.
Yes.
A lot of challenges though.
Well, one thing we have to congratulate Uhuru is that he took the bold decision of making sure that he devolved government immediately he was sworn in 2013. Mm-hmm. There are many functions that are supposed to be done with the count by
respond to that question. We want to take you to current residence, and this is the Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua's residence, where we're joined by our reporter Caroline Jenga. Good morning. Bring us up to speed with what is happening there, Caroline.
Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Caroline Jenga, and we are coming live to you from Deputy President-elect resident here in Karen, Rigathi Gachagua. And we are in his gym. He's been working out for the last couple of hours, or rather for the last couple of minutes, as he tries to gear up for the day ahead. And he is one who has risen to the limelight of recent since 2017. When he became the member of parliament for Mathira constituency, and now he is a second in command for this country, the deputy president-elect. And we'll be speaking to him how he feels about this day, what to expect, and also I know outside there the Thanksgiving ceremony that will be held once he's done with doing his workout for this morning. Deputy-elect, if you can just speak to us. This is KBC Channel 1, and we'd like to know how you're feeling this morning. Are you energetic? I can see you've been working out since we came in. Just tell us how you're feeling.
I am great. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling good. I am finally free. My family is free from intimidation, being persecuted by state agencies, being followed everywhere, the fear of poisoning, the fear of being crushed on the road. It's not been easy for 4.5 years. The state agencies have traumatized me. They have persecuted me. They have followed me everywhere. They have tried to poison me. They have threatened my children. They have arrested me. They have put me behind bars. They have made life literally impossible for me. So today, I join other Kenyans in enjoying the new freedom. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy. I am feeling on top of the world that we are finally free to do what we want, to associate with those whom we want, to belong to a political party of your choice, to choose your friends without having to account to anybody, without anybody asking you, why are you afraid of so-and-so? So to me, is the happiest moment. Forget about me being deputy president, that's a small thing. that I am alive, that I'm well, despite the threats and what had been planned against me. I thank God that today I'm here.
Are you feeling anxious? I know already 60,000 Kenyans are already at Kasarani. They are waiting to hear what you have to say, to hear what the swearing in of the President Ruto-elect, and also the swearing in of you as the Deputy President.
I'm very excited, but I'm also very calm. I've seen many things in my life. At the age of 57, I've seen many things. I grew up in very difficult circumstances. We literally had food to eat. We were brought up in a grass-thatched house. We had jiggers on our toes. We couldn't get school fees. We had a very difficult upbringing. That is even more difficult than what we have undergone. But I'm happy that the people of Kenya have decided to give us a chance. And I want to tell the people of Kenya that Dr. William Ruto and I have a plan for this country. And our first assignment is in the next 2 years to try to restore Kenya to where Mwai Kibaki left us, where people had some money in the pocket, where people could pay their bills, where people could do business, and where Kenyans could go about their lives without being disturbed by anybody. We want less and less government in people's lives and more services to the people of Kenya. That is what we want. So I am told in Kasarani, an old man has called me, and he was there in 1963. He tells me the air of freedom is the same as it was in 1963 when we got independence from the British colonialists. And Kenyans have been terrified. They have been persecuted. They have been humiliated. They have gone through hell. And the country became a police state. There was intolerance. There was dictatorship. And people today feel free. To me, that is what is very, very important. Myself and family, we are delighted. We are so excited. We have not known this kind of life for the last 1.5 years. We have been under surveillance. Our telephone calls were being recorded. We were being followed wherever we went. The fear of arrest was imminent. We couldn't sleep. And for the last 2 weeks, it's been very nice. And as a family, we are together, and we have called a Thanksgiving service here this morning to thank God for His mercy to me and my family, and to commit me before God for the journey ahead, so that God can give us grace, can give us favor, to work for the people of Kenya and make a difference and restore the dignity of the Kenyan people, recreate wealth, make sure that people can pay their bills. People have food on the table. People can pay their bills without too much struggle. And therefore, I'm a very excited Kenyan, extremely excited.
Maybe as we come to a close, is this usually your normal routine? Tell us, as in after here, what to expect.
It used to be my normal routine 5 years ago. I came here and I put up this home 24 years ago, and I put up this small gym 15 years ago. For about 11 years, I was here this morning. But the last 4 years has not been easy. There was no time to work out. We were literally concerned about how to live so that we don't get killed. How to dodge policemen, how to survive, how to look for food. We couldn't have time to come and exercise. And in the process, I got in very bad shape. I added so many kilos, but I want to assure the people of Kenya in another 3 months, I'll be looking good. I'll be back to my shape and keep well and keep fit. I'll be doing this every morning so that my mind is in good shape in the morning. We have work to do, so you have to be mentally and physically fit, because the work ahead of us is not a mean feat. We have inherited a dilapidated country with a 10 trillion public debt. 14 million Kenyans are in CRB. 6 young people have no jobs. It's not easy. For you to tackle this journey, you have to be mentally and physically fit. So this will be my routine every morning, from 5 up to 6:30, so that I get in good shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that has been the deputy-elect there working out. He has been working out for the last 30 minutes, saying that this is going to be his routine, even as he's working towards making sure that the lives of Kenyans out there is manageable and they can be able to afford basic food commodities, as well as revamping the economy, which he says has been dilapidated for the last couple of years. As you can see him there going to the next machine to work out a bit. I think it's finally over. Well, Ben Choi, as you've heard, there's a Thanksgiving ceremony that is ongoing right now, and I think once he's done here, he's just gonna go take a shower, then attend the Thanksgiving meeting, and also now head to Deputy Ruto's, or rather the President Ruto's home, and then to Kasarani Stadium. Back to you, Ben Choi.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for bringing us to speed with what is happening at the Deputy President-elect's residence there in Karen. They're the 57-year-old Rigathi Gachagua, who can be described as a bold leader who has never shied away from speaking his heart, ensuring and saying that he's highly calm. He's anticipating a great ceremony there. We're expecting him at 11:30 a.m. at the Kasarani Stadium, where, as you can see, Kenyans are already waiting for the two. That is the President-elect, Dr. William Ruto, and his deputy there, Rigathi Gachagua. Now, to bring back this conversation back to the studio, before I hand it over to you, Ben, I would want to, inform you that we are also joined by the Advocate of the High Court, that is Gibson Gesore, to take us through this conversation. Karibu sana, Wakili. Now, from what we've heard from the Deputy President-elect, Rigathi Gachagua, I'd want to start with you, Gibson Gesore. What does this point to when it comes to the relationship between the President-elect and his deputy?
Thank you so much, Regina, and thank you for inviting me on this particular day. It's a very special day for Kenyans, and people are looking forward. It's a feeling of hope. There's a sense of freedom, as the Deputy President-elect is actually trying to put it, that for him it's freedom. For him it's freedom, and the question you've asked, Regina, in regards to the relationship between the President and the Deputy President, speaks to what Rigathi Gachagua has just spoken about, the aspect of intimidation, the aspect of arbitrary arrest, the aspect of people suffering.
Wakili, we are seeing on screen there dignitaries have begun a grade, as well as members of parliament. Let's have a listen in.
Mizigi, Women Rep Taita Taveta. I am so happy today, very, very happy. And the reason why I am so happy is that today marks a very good story, a story of hope in this country called Kenya. To many people, many village boys and girls out there, that today in this country called Kenya, when you work hard, you can become anybody you want to be in this country. You can even become the president. So I'm very happy because it gives hope to so many people out there. And again, I want to say from today, as Kenyans, tutaenda kujivunia kwa Wakenya, si kuvumilia, because hata yule mtu wa chini sasa ataenda kuheshimika, because that has been the hustler. That is what the hustler stands for. Mama mboga, boda boda, and we say kazi ni kazi na kila mtu aheshimiwe. So Kenyans, today is our day. Asante sana.
Please give me your contacts. Now I know you.
Well, that is just, Women Rep Taita there giving us a feed. They have arrived early. Remember, as per the communication, is that people need to be seated by 10 a.m. But the rest of the members of public have been there from as early as 2 a.m. The Kasarani Stadium the terraces actually are full to capacity. Provision has been made for 20,000 Kenyans there. Now let's have a listen in to Miriam Kitani, who's addressing our reporter on ground.
Expectations. It's a journey. Tell me about it.
This journey has been long. The journey, I think, started a long time ago because Kenyans have really yearned for this day. As you can see, the stadium is full. Everyone has so much expectations. Everyone wants everything for themselves. And I think we're going to deliver. Our president-elect, who is going to be the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya today, is a workaholic. We saw it in 2013 when he was the deputy president. Now imagine that he has a sword. Kenyans can only expect better and better lives. Yes. Thank you so much.
You want to say something? Which? KBC.
KBC?
Yes.
Okay.
Start with the name.
I'm Honorable Dorothy Kiara, a nominated MP, and I'm very, very excited today to see the way Kenyans have turned in large numbers to come and witness the swearing-in of our president. The journey has started. I'm sure all the promises that His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in due course, all of them will be fulfilled. We are so happy, we are excited as members of parliament, and I'm sure this is a new dawn for Kenyans. Thank you so much.
Yes, members of public as well as leaders continue to throng the Kasarani Stadium. Earlier there, that was just Dorothy Ikiara addressing KBC that is already on ground. We have been on ground from as early as 4 a.m. And earlier was Aldai, Member of Parliament Mary Kitani, saying that indeed this is a making of history. And looking at how the elections went in the last, actually the August polls there, we have more women elected to elective seats, both at the National Assembly as well as quite a significant number of governors there, an improvement, making it a total of 7 there, as well as senators. So women indeed, as we say, it is a patriarchal society, but the future is indeed female. Mr. Gesore, I just interrupted you when you were giving us your thoughts in regard to the relationship between President-elect and his deputy, given the conversation that you've just had. We've had from his current residence there, alluding to that freedom has come, that he's more calm, he's ready to serve Kenyans.
Yes, indeed, he has said as much that he's ready to serve Kenyans. I think for him, most important from what he has said is the aspect that for him it's the freedom and the sense of hope for a better Kenya. He has said, he has alluded to some things that they want to do for Kenya. And he said they have a plan for within him and the president-elect. They have a plan to help Kenyans out of the intimidation. They want to see less and less government in Kenyans' faces or in Kenyan homes. And there is more to the fact that they want money in people's pockets, and that is very important. You realize, Regina, for the recent past, people have been crying. There is no money in the people's pockets, and people are unable to pay their bills. People are unable to actually fuel. Cost of living has skyrocketed, and those are, I think, some of the things which he has alluded that he is going to do with him and the president. The relationship between those two is very cordial. They share some commonalities in terms of upbringing, as he has alluded to, that he grew up in a grass-thatched house. He had chiggers on his legs and all that. To grow to be the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, which gives hope to every young Kenyan who is wherever he is, wherever situation he is in. He should be able to rise to whatever he wants to be, the same as to the president-elect, who also has spoken as much that he grew up as in a very challenging neighborhood. We have the stories of him selling chicken, the stage, and those are very humble circumstances which have given rise or have born to great leaders whom we have today. We are hoping that in every sense they will be able to reflect back and be able to put policies in place which are going to help the very common people who are sharing the kind of lifestyle they enjoyed while they were young, so that no single Kenyan should be able to lose hope, because hope is the last thing somebody should be able to lose. And then, of course, there is the aspect of the freedom that government should let people do their own business and enable them to have money so that they can be able to achieve their dreams and hopes as they have for themselves. So I think that should be very paramount. That should be understood across the country, because that is the only way you can be able to raise a generation of people who are proud and patriotic and know that they're living in their own country, not they're living a borrowed life.
All right, let's have a listen in to what is happening in Kasarani. Good morning, Chuma.
Dr. William Samoei Ruto and His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua on this very special occasion. I want to congratulate you, and I pray for you that God's grace will be sufficient for you as you take up the mantle to lead the nation of Kenya. It's one day of a kind, and my word to you today is that the reward for good work is more work. So there is more work that is beginning today for you on your desk, and I know that the Kenya Kwanza government under your leadership will be able to deliver the promise that they have given to the Kenyans. So today is just a day to thank God. I see it more as a Thanksgiving service to say, God, we are grateful that our nation is peaceful, that our nation has moved to the next level. It's the dawn of a new day in Kenya, and I'm looking forward to a very great day when the covenants that God has over Kenya will come to reality. So I'm truly looking forward. We have many guests from all over, international presidents. We have guests who are from the region, guests who are from Kenya itself, and we are truly looking forward to a very joyous celebration and a day to actually pray for Kenya that the next 5 years will be years of prosperity, years of economic growth, years of everybody becoming somebody in Kenya. So I'm truly looking forward, and I want to say for those who can make it to Kasarani, because the cards may not have been enough or the space may not have been enough, please bear with us, bear with the Kenya Kwanza government, bear with the UDA party. We will find a chance for you to be able to meet your president in days to come and not too long a wait. So please bear with us, and any inconvenience is regretted. Thank you. Before I let you go, tell us your expectations after this event. What next for us? Our expectation is to see the new cabinet coming in. We are looking up to see the lineup of the cabinet, because work begins soon after the swearing in of our president and the president-elect. So my expectation is that we will quickly settle down as a nation and we get to work, and everybody gets to push their hustle in a more enabling environment, an environment that will enable trade, robust trade, economic growth, great interaction with the region and with the nations around the nation of Kenya. So we are looking forward to growth, more opportunities for young people, inclusion for women. We are looking forward to women being part of the government. You remember our president promised that he would give 50% of the cabinet to women. So we are looking forward to more inclusion for women, and we are also looking forward to compliances when it comes to gender, in terms of a rollout of 2/3 gender rule in Kenya. And today we are expecting so many other leaders to come. What will be the highlight of this event, especially from Kenya Kwanza team? Remember, this is the time that we are going through hard economic times, and President-elect, going to be the president today, said that he will address the issue of cost of food. But what is other highlight that you think he will consider in his main speech?
I do not want to pull the carpet from below his feet. I think we should anticipate and wait for his speech. It's coming. It's just a few minutes. So let's look forward, but it will be the manifesto, the plan that will be rolled out for Kenya. So we are looking forward for that. So let's wait for that speech. It's coming.
Good day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Now that has been Secretary General UDA there, as well that very Kamaina nominated senator. Now let's head to the Deputy President's current residence, where we're having his wife, Bishop Dorcas there, getting spruced up ahead of the ceremony.
But of course for her, as you can see, she's having her makeup done, and just maybe we can have a few questions, just 1 or 2 questions for her. Thank you so much. And what are your expectations today? It appears to be quite a big day, and actually your husband earlier on said that this is his biggest day in his entire public life. What about you? Is it your biggest day ever?
I think it is one of the greatest day. And I really thank God, because maybe it is not anything that you had planned, from when you are born, but it is going to be the most wonderful day. I know. Yes.
As you have seen, a number of pictures of the Kasarani Stadium, as early as 5 a.m. It was full to the brim. A lot of your supporters actually had already occupied their seats there. What does that tell you, especially even as you begin your new era as the country's presidency, second presidency under the 2010 Constitution?
I think what that informs us is that we have a huge task ahead. There is expectation from everyone, and they want their lives to change. And to me, I think I feel that we need to rethink and go and work very hard, because the expectation, the vibration in the air, it is full of expectation. It's pregnant, and I think we are, God willing and God helping us, we are going to midwife a new Kenya. Yeah.
Beautiful. First of all, you look very, very beautiful. And if I may pick up from where my colleague has left off, maybe you can share with us the kind of feeling you have as the wife to Rigathi, the deputy-elect. How are you feeling this morning?
I feel excited, and I think I have a good husband. And the way he has worked for the 4 years, day and night, and I am excited also for him, and to see that whatever he has been working for is just about to happen. I'm really excited for him and for myself and for the family and the family of Kenya. Yeah.
From the background, we can hear songs and just how crucial has religion and God and church has been actually in your campaigns and in actually now occupying the second most important and most powerful position in the country.
I'm a Christian and I'm a ordained pastor, so it's not about religion. The religion is something else, but Christianity is a lifestyle. So God is the center of everything, and you can see without God, how could this have happened? When you get Lazarus getting into the highest office of the land, it can only take the hand of God, and that's why we've been going round. And we also know that, without God in Kenya, you get chaos, you don't have peace, you don't have unity. But when people are united by the Creator God, you find that people love one another, people are in harmony with one another, people have unity, and that is why we love God, and we know this time it has been about God, and it will continue to be about God.
Well, it has been a journey. What can you tell Kenyans out there who are waiting for you? 60,000 Kenyans are at Kasarani Stadium waiting for you guys to arrive as we saw in the President Ruto.
As a mother and as a pastor, I love you all. And it is so great to see you, and your expectations definitely will not be cut short. We have a God who has been working, and he's working now, and as he gives us the strength, we promise that we are going to work for you, because you have given us this job, and we really are humbled to you all Kenyans by how you have come out. You are there at 3-4 a.m. May God really tremendously bless you. We will serve you as God enables us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that has been the wife of Rigathi Gachagua speaking to us about how she's feeling this morning as she prepares to face the day ahead of her. I'm so sure she's looking forward to go to the Thanksgiving ceremony that is underway right now. She's just doing the final touches, and then she heads out there as they get ready now to head to Kasarani Stadium. Back to you in studio.
Now, Troy, you saw that beautiful smile. You saw, Deputy President-elect's wife, that is Pastor Dorcas, saying that as a mother and as a pastor, God has to be at the center. And I like that from a journalist point of view, that they have been very welcoming to the media to just follow up their preparations ahead of the swearing-in ceremony. And I hope this is something that we are going to see in their tenure, that the top two will not be inaccessible to the media, that doors will be open for us to ask questions. And as a role, the media plays Troy there. But I want to challenge you, Troy. Mm-hmm. There's something that the Deputy President-elect actually said, that his day starts out with a workout. I just want to know, does yours start with a workout, Troy?
bearing in mind I have a very rich sports background. I really do a lot of exercises. But away from that, it's a good thing that you saw even the DP talked about being quite fit. You saw him when he was the deputy president. Sometimes he was running, you know, just to show how indeed he is athletic, and he will really need that, because now he has been elevated to the topmost position in the land. And something else that his wife is also gonna be on Kenya's eyes now. The good bishop will be on Kenya's eyes and lips, and now she has to transit from her work to indeed being the wife of the second in command, which comes with a lot of responsibilities. We have seen Dr. Ruto's wife actually in so many functions here and there. We saw Margaret Kenyatta as well in so many projects, including Beyond Zero. So they have to change their lives as soon as their husbands take the oath of office today. And talking about taking, we had talked about something, is that Kenyans, you can see Kenyans from all walks of life, from all the 47 counties, and we were talking about 2.5 trillion has been able to be narrowed down to counties. That is something that the devolution has quite brought in, and this is a second regime after we promulgated the 2010 constitution. 2.5 trillion. And okay, hold the thought. Let's first of all cross over to Kasarani and listen in.
Many hours of hard work, and today we're finally here to celebrate the culmination of the achievement of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. We, the people of Nairobi, are extremely happy that we are hosting this historic event in this city, and I would welcome everybody to come in and join with us so that we can look forward to the building of a prosperous nation.
There are so many challenges we are facing as city residents. What next for us after this, after the taking of oath by the president-elect and his deputy?
I think we expect very, very dynamic leadership. Our leader has shown us, he has been very, very consistent. He has told us the things that we need to follow through in terms of what we are doing within the city ourselves. We are also working on that same program, and we want to make sure that we support him to be successful, to achieve the programs, the bottom-up policies, the issue of uplifting those at the bottom, the issue of supporting businesses, the issue of developing infrastructure, the issue of developing education, ensuring that we do things like school feeding in Nairobi and across the country. There are many things that we have put in our manifesto, and it's also in the national manifesto, and I know the president is going to lead us in that journey.
We have seen so many hustlers, those people who are living below $1 per day. They have turned up here as early as 5 a.m. What would you encourage them now?
This is a day of hope. It's a day of anticipation. It's a day of a new beginning. And I believe that the things that we are going to do and the things we are going to achieve with the new government will help them directly achieve better lives, better days for their children, better days for their families. And that's what we would like to do in this country. That's what we would like to encourage everybody to do, to work hard. So when people wake up early to come and celebrate this, I think it's an indication of the hope and aspirations of a huge number of our citizens, and that's what we encourage them to do every single day as they go around looking for food and whatever else for their families.
Your parting words before I let you go?
I think it's a brilliant day. Let every Kenyan enjoy this, celebrate to the fullest, because today we begin a new era.
Thank you, sir. Good day ahead.
Thank you.
Indeed, that is Irene Mchuma Odim was sampling some of the responses by the leaders who are now streaming in, and from that camera angle we can tell you that some dignitaries are already arriving. Remember, the 60,000 capacity stadium is full to the brim. We cannot authoritatively say exactly who those dignitaries are, but it's a good thing that Kenyans are seated, and it's 8:08, and we have seen even dignitaries already arriving. Earlier on, UDA Secretary General there talked about they are being rewarded for good work that they did, and especially when you talk about the DP, and now they're being rewarded with more work. And when it comes to devolution,
well, as I was saying earlier, is that 2.5 trillion has been devolved to counties over the last say 9.5 years. What for me I'm looking forward is that how can we now see the benefits of this kind of money that has been invested in the counties, and do we need to change the structure of the kind of investment we've done? We've realized some of the counties that are governors are inheriting governments where 50% of what they were getting went to recurrent expenditure. So we need to reorganize the structure of those economies so that more money can go to development, and the development can be able to start bringing the returns that we expect. Counties are economies by themselves. For example, in Nakuru, where I come from, is that 6% of the national economy comes from Nakuru. 26% of the national economy comes from Nairobi. We need to see the structure of the whole economy in the country changing, rather than having 5 counties contributing to over 50% of the economy. We want to see more and more counties growing so that their revenue and their contribution to the national GDP can also increase, so that the burden that we have on these 5 counties, which is Nakuru, Kiambu, Nairobi, Mombasa and Meru, can be lessened. We want to see counties like Turkana, Nyandarua, Nyeri, Laikipia doing more to the national outlook of the economy. And that I mean that I'm looking forward where now some of the manifesto and economic plans that Ruto's administration will have will require that investments are done in those counties, so that those counties' economy can also be able to grow and contribute bigger in the economy. So it's good that Uhuru took the bold step of devolving governments immediately took over, but now we need now that the devolved governments are already there, what do we need to do to make them better? One of the areas that we have always had a concern is that the amount of money being devolved is not enough. That is one. But also the own source revenues in those counties, are they collecting enough? Are they using the one that they collect effectively? Are they making sure that there are no leakages in terms of the collection? Are they making sure that we don't have the cases that we are seeing in Kisii, where we have ghost workers, people who are employed, they don't qualify for those jobs, they are not being productive, or they are even not there, people being assigned to be drivers and there are no cars to drive? The kind of wastage we are seeing is shocking.
Okay.
So we need to be able to address those issues.
Let's first of all listen in. This is Kasarani MP.
Okay, today it's a very nice day. Swearing in of our new president. Very high expectations throughout the country. I think he's inheriting a very crazy situation in terms of the finances of the treasury. So I think the first 6 months might be very tough, but it's the hope of all Kenyans that after that things will get better.
And what do you expect after this ceremony?
You see, the hope of all Kenyans, people have been hungry. People don't have money in their pockets. I think the hope of all Kenyans is that there's change that comes with the new presidency. I think from the president's speech, there's a lot of things that will come out, and I'm hoping that the hope that people have with the new president, he will actually fulfill those promises, because people have been suffering. We've had a government that has not been respecting court orders. We've had a government that has really impoverished the people of Kenya. So I'm hoping in the next few years, I know it will take time, hopefully in the next 2-3 years everything will have changed and people will have money in their pockets. We won't have cases of people going hungry, people not going to school, and that's the change I hope that will come with the new presidency.
You're representing the people of Kasarani.
Yes.
What do you think will be first of the things for you to address as you're taking office now?
We do have a lot of problems in Kasarani, and most of them are basic needs. People are hungry. We don't have basic infrastructure, especially like in the wards of Njiru and Ruai. Water is a problem. It doesn't reach all the communities and all the families in my constituency. So I'm hoping with the help and in partnership with the national government, we'll be able to achieve all those objectives, so that at least from a starting point, people live a dignified life. Then after that, we can bring infrastructure to the community.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Kasarani MP Captain Ronald Karauri, and something interesting he has talked about there is that for the next 6 months things are going to be quite tough for the new government. But something else, talking of tough, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the diaspora came in handy for Kenyans, and there's something that President Uhuru Kenyatta mentioned yesterday, that we are now doing around 400 billion diaspora remittances. And there's something interesting that the president-elect also said in regards to the diaspora. He said that he is going to make a ministry dedicated for the diaspora because it's somewhere that we cannot ignore, bringing in 400 billion every year.
I think it is being very real. When I could see the member of parliament was just spoken from Mbagasi that things are very tough, and that's actually the true position. And why we talk about the diaspora, I think this is a more informed, a more capable or able society. And if they can really be able to pump in such amount of resources to Kenya, I think that will give us a helping hand. It will also, revitalize the kind of the trade or other investments that we have in this country. But however, we need not to forget that Kenyans who are now, facing the true economic the situation, I think they themselves they must rise up and pull up their sleeves and then they move on. There is nothing going to be easy, my brother. The Kenyans must, the expectations that we are banging so much on the new leadership, it depends entirely on us Kenyans, ourselves, because the resources that this government expect to use will definitely come from the same Kenyans that we are talking about. You talk about, my brother Engineer Sakeli said that the county governments, the 2.5%, or the 25%, that they are actually getting, those are actually, it is not small money. If they are able to make use of that money prudently, I believe they can also be able to come up with the investments that will really help the national government in opening up new ventures of economic opportunities. And they also need to make their own resources. That is actually very, very important, because an average of about 4 billion is bumped into the county governments every year. But that money is too small as compared to the problems that we are encountering in the local. So they need to really come up with a lot of income generating activities to be able to make their own, to build their own revenue base at the county level. I was listening to the speech of, the talk of His Excellency, the Deputy President-elect, and he has a lot of energy and a lot of hope that they are going to revitalize the economy of this country to the level that Kenyans will really put the money into their pockets. And looking by him, I think the kind of, the leadership that they are coming now are coming from a background who are actually, I can say they will be the best role models for Kenyans, because they have just come from a background that is resembling the majority of Kenyans. However, there is something that I also noted from the deputy-elect, that he still thinks that the past has been very punitive, and he's grown up with a lot of oppressive system. And I'm also thankful that she has a prayerful wife who believes in forgiveness, who believes in having or bringing Kenyans together. Because when I looked at her talk and when I listened to her talk, it is actually she's sending an olive branch to Kenyans that yes, you brought us to this level. This is a level of responsibility that we must devote our time, and we must also not necessarily delivering. Delivering our services to Kenyans, but we are also praying to be, a one united Kenya, so that we can move way forward. And I look forward to seeing the president-elect and the deputy president-elect also really coming up in a very strong way to bring unity among all Kenyans. And they must also be ready to forgive. We have over 6.9 million Kenyans who never voted for the president, elect, and that is a big number. So, as leaders now, we need to forget the past. We need to forget our political differences. We need to forget our former oppressive system and emulate that kind of togetherness. Let us bring on board everybody so that we can build a Kenya that we shall all embrace as our country.
Yeah, and still on the same, based on what the captain has talked about, the Kasarani MP, in terms of managing our expectations, indeed we do want to put a lot of faith in the new government, but as I said, like 6 months, Kenyans should be waiting to see what exactly will transpire. And the president-elect talked about, not about increasing taxes, but he wants to increase the tax bracket.
Yeah. It's good that you've interviewed Captain Karuri. If you look at the numbers, SportsPesa, the company that this man was running during the pandemic period, they were turning in the 200 billion in terms of money that was being transacted by SportsPesa. Their profit margins were quite huge. But that showed that the country has a lot of money that is not being directed to the right use. So if we can be able to mop up all this cash that is scattered all over, we can be able to use that money and direct it to investment that can be able to generate money. And that's why the diaspora also becomes a very important stakeholder that we cannot wish away. People bringing in $4 billion a year into the country, most of it may not be able to be seen in terms of direct investment in the country because it comes through families, it comes through addressing issues of healthcare, in maybe attending to burials and all those kind of things that, social issues. But if we are able to direct this money to safe economic instruments of investment, these people can be able to be guaranteed some return. So that, for example, you can have a diaspora bond where they can put their money together and build their own express highway, like the one we have seen here, which has costed the contractor around 60 billion Kenya shillings, that we as a country, over the next 30 years, we may have to pay 10 times of that. So if this money was put together by the diaspora community, and they said, for example, the Rironi to Mau Summit Road, which is costing $2 billion, it is our investment as the diaspora community, and it's put in a proper investment instrument, and a contractor is brought on board and does the road, and the returns are paid back to the diaspora community. This will be safe investment opportunity for these people working outside there, because they are working so hard, they are making money, but when this money comes here, it does not bring the returns they desire. So it's good that we have a ministry that is dedicated to the diaspora, and we come up with the safe economic instruments that these people can be able to use to make investments in Kenya. But I also want to touch on what my colleague has talked about, the issue of vengeance and forgiveness. We are calling upon the deputy president who will be sworn in today to forget about the issues that went in the last 5 or 10 years. Those people who did that, probably they were serving the government of the day. And there are also people who will come and serve the government, his government, and they'll also go to certain extremes. The only things maybe we may need to not forgive is the issue of economic crimes. If there are any issues of corruption, we want them prosecuted, investigated properly. But other issues, let us forgive.
Kasarani engineer, just to have a listen in. That is Esther Koimet.
Up to the standard that they are required to be. And we are looking forward to a very, very beautiful celebration of our inauguration of our fifth president. Yes.
You're a principal secretary in this government, obviously, and having been in government for the years that you've been in, what is your expectation, obviously, as a senior government official and as a Kenyan also?
The expectation is that we will have, wonderful celebrations, that the new government will obviously get into office and be able to take our country forward. In terms of the manifesto, we've seen their manifesto, and we know that if that manifesto is delivered, then Kenya will move forward.
All right. Good luck for you. Thank you. All right. Waziri Kandia, do you want to speak to us? Karibu sana. The former Minister for East African Cooperation. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
We've not seen you in a long time.
Yes, I have been serving the country elsewhere.
All right.
But now I'm back. So yes, this is really a big day for all of us.
How do you feel about today?
I think it's a wonderful day for really for Kenyans. It's been a very difficult journey, and but at the end of the day, I think all Kenyans won, because we saw democracy really at play, and So today it's the inauguration of His Excellency William Ruto, and the Kenyans have chosen him, and it was confirmed by the Supreme Court. So it's really a great day for Kenyans because we just saw, like I said, democracy at play. So we're looking forward to his tenure, and I think he's ready to actually take up the mantle as the president of the country. So thank you. I really want to wish him all the very best.
Asante sana.
And wish him well.
Thank you very much. Waziri Phyllis Kandia speaking to us this morning from the Kasarani Stadium. This is the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani.
Indeed, that is John Jacob Kuria just bringing us to speed as Kenyans continue thronging the Kasarani Stadium. Now we want to take you over to Bungoma, where we have a reporter, Wycliffe Okech, to bring us up to speed with what is happening down in Bungoma. To you, Wycliffe, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you, Regina Manyara, back in Nairobi. We are, of course, coming to you live from Bungoma County. Specifically, this is Kandui Shopping Center here in Bungoma County. This is the home constituency for the Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Masika Wetangula, who was the other day elected the National Assembly Speaker. And before coming here, we were just passing by his rural home here, which is just about a kilometer or even a kilometer and a half from this place where we are right now. And back at this place, there is not so much going on except for a few construction activities at that place. You do know right now actually is in Nairobi for the big day of the for the event of the day today. You know, being the National Assembly Speaker, that makes him the third in command, and that will kick in immediately the event of the day. Immediately the fifth president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, will have been sworn in together with this deputy, and that will mean that Moses Masika Wetangula will be the third in command insofar the constitution is concerned. But away from from that bit, we know that today the mantle of leadership of the country is changing from the fourth president, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta, to the fifth president, William Samoei Ruto. And there is so much expectations within the country from very different regions across the country here. And the point of interest, my interest here in Bungoma, is that now that Moses Wetangula is part of the government here, and the residents here are quite expectant of maybe some goodies, and that is the basis that I'm going to engage a few of the residents here, probably to share with us what are their expectations, what are their views of the outgoing regime, as well as their expectations of the incoming regime. And just starting with you, ndugu, ukinieleza majina yako kamili na ikiwa wewe ni mkazi wa eneo hili ama kaunti hii ya Bungoma. Tuko live KBC Channel 1. Nieleze majina yako, na leo kuna uapisho, kuna uongozi mpya unaingia. Matarajio yako ni yapi, na pia una yapi ya kusema kuhusiana na uongozi ambao unatoka? Jina kwanza.
Majina naitwa John Juma. Tarajio letu, tunatarajia wakati tulikuwa tunamhitaji president wetu mwenye anaenda kuapishwa leo, tunatarajia mabadiliko mapya, abadilishe inji na watu kama sisi hasora atubadilishie na atuangalie jinsi tulivyo na jinsi yeye mwenyewe alikuwa amepanga. Atabadilisha maisha yetu, atatusaidia kama hasora. Tumetarajia abadilishe vitu mingi, uchumi ashukishe, mbolea alisema atashukisha, ashukishe unga pia peleke chini, yani abadilishe maisha mwana inchi wa kawaida mwenye ako chini. Yes.
Asante sana. Mama, karibia hapa, naona kuna njoo useme hapa. Kama anaogopa lakini anaongea kule nyuma Haya, sawa. Tueleze majina yako kamili ndugu, na una yapi ya kusema kuhusiana na serikali ambayo inaondoka kwa sasa na ile ambayo inakuja leo?
Majina naitwa Wandausi Kisielo, alimaarufu kama Kennedy wa Bukembe. Mimi natarajia mheshimiwa wetu Rais mtukufu William Ruto, ila ahadi alizotupea mwanzo, especially sisi watu wa Bungoma tunategemea sana ukulima. Sasa akikuja upande wa mbolea, akizusha mbolea atakuwa ametusaidia. Alafu ukikuja kama kuna factory mingi hapa Bungoma, especially Mumias, Nzoia, Shuka, Pani Paper, hizo pia akisishughulikia atakuwa amesaidia mwananchi wa kawaida. Alafu ukikuja upande wa elimu, kuna elimu imekuja hata inatuchanganya mpaka kutamka jina ati sijui CPC ama PPC, kitu kama hiyo. Hiyo kitu mheshimiwa wetu Rais William Samoei Ruto alituahidi ya kwamba akikaa kwa kiti hiyo kitu anaenda kututolea. Na mimi niko na mtoto ako ati sijui grade 3. Unanipata mzuri? Huyo mtoto anasema ya kwamba kuna sehemu katika kuku, yani walete kuku mzima ati apeleke shuleni kuku mzima, alafu katika hiyo kuku kuna hali hakipande hako ndani ya stomach hanaitwa emondo, sijui nyinyi mnaitanga aje hiyo filikizi. Waswahili wanaitwa filikizi. Sasa imagine mtoto anapepa kuku mzima apeleke shuleni itolewe filikizi isomwe, alafu hii sehemu yote imepaki itafanya namna gani? Sasa mheshimiwa, kwa darasa moja unapata watoto wako kama 120, kila mtoto anapepa kuku. Haya, hiyo kuku inasemekana watoe tu haka sehemu wasome. Sasa hii sehemu imepaki yote inasama ndani ya maji. Sasa mheshimiwa Ruto, hii CPC alituambia jana mambo na mbolea, Biblia ikipepa juu ikitoka juu ifike chini mbolea imeshu. Mimi